Hello and welcome to my reaction to a video talking about Ninjago's LGBTQ representation. Now, as you guys probably know, I have also made one of those. And because I have made one of those, I thought, hey, why not I react, or show my reaction and, commentary to this one that I found. Because, yeah, when I first made mine, I was honestly surprised that no one had before me, and I think this one came, a month after mine. I don't know. I'm too lazy to check. Mine says it was a year ago. This one says 11 months ago. I don't know. But anyway, I just wanted to do a reaction to it so I could respond and have a discussion with it and also show support because I think this creator is very underrated. I looked through their videos and I was like, hey, diamond in the rough here. So let's get into my reaction to As Tiny's Let's Talk About Ninjago's LGBTQ plus representation. Oh yeah, I just want to let you know that I have actually seen the first 3-ish minutes already, and that's when I decided, oh wait, I should probably record my reaction. And so yeah, but I don't fully remember what was said. I just remember wanting to record it so I could talk and discuss what they were saying, but yeah.
A quick couple of disclaimers before we get into the video. First of all, any homophobia or transphobia in the comments will be deleted. You can add to the conversation of this video, but you cannot just blatantly be homophobic. That will be deleted.
Yep. See? That's literally almost word for word. But I think I said mine at the end of my video, but I remember it was if you're just coming to this video to be homophobic, you're gonna be deleted, so don't even try.
So I will be using the word queer in a reclaimed way. If that is uncomfortable for you, then feel free to click off. Howdy, my name is Az or Azalea, either is fine, and welcome to my video. Now, you may or may not know, but I am a part of the LGBTQ+ community, and it's Pride Month, and one of my special interests is Ninjago.
I posted mine during Pride Month too, I believe.
And discuss Ninjago's
so that means that our videos were posted at the same time. We were in sync.
Patient. Now, I'd say the first bit of any sort of major representation we got, and that's not major representation, but just representation in general. That would be in Prime Empire, the episode where they have the
two dancing girls.
I do not remember its name. I will put it up on screen. In that episode, Jay and Nia, who is the show's main couple, enter in a dance competition. And every other couple in this competition is a man and a woman, except for one, in which it's 2 girls.
Yeah, I remember when I was doing research for my video, I was looking at Twitter threads. Oh, my hair is really bothering me, goodness. I was looking at Twitter threads and I saw one where Tommy Andreessen, all he tweeted was LGBT, and someone else replied with a picture of those 2 girls and also asked LGBT. So yeah, funnily enough, I didn't even notice these 2 characters when I first watched this episode. My brain probably just assumed they were friends, but what I was paying attention to in that episode was Cole dancing with Kai, because I thought that was cute.
Now, you could say that they're just entering in the dance competition as a platonic besties, gal pals duo.
You could.
And I'm not even saying that everyone in the competition is a couple, but due to the fact that it is our main couple of the show is entered as a couple and everyone else, it does make it appear as if this pair of 2 women are lesbians or sapphic. If I remember correctly, it was confirmed that they were lesbians, but I don't have a source for that. I'm going to try and find one. If I have it, I'll put it up on screen.
I don't have the proof, you're just gonna have to trust my memory. That's what happened with me too. I could have sworn that there was a tweet that confirmed that Sally was bisexual or something. Or I remember back in the day, there was a tweet that said Sally is our first confirmed queer character, and I was like, oh. And then when I tried to find that tweet for research, I was like, where is it? Like, did they delete it? Like, and so yeah, it seems this person is having the same problem, or had the same problem, where like things confirming stuff like that are deleted. Funny how that happens. Like,
but just take my word. If I remember correctly, they were confirmed as lesbians,
I believe
and that
you.
was our first little bit of representation. Then we fast forward to season 15 with Crystallized, and we get introduced to the character Sally. Now, Sally, she is confirmed queer. She has the
I want to actually like speed up this video so the screen recording isn't too long.
Progress pride flag on both her guitar and on her van. And if
I remember I got so excited when I saw that. I made a TikTok about it. I was like, guys, it's happening! Look!
The bi flag on her guitar case. I may be wrong on that.
But yeah, I think they just talked about the bisexual flag. I couldn't find it either. Same thing. I heard people talking about it, but I couldn't find it. I was like, what bisexual flag? Where? And they said it was like in a later episode of Crystallized, and I was like, okay, well, I can't find that. I'm not gonna... whatever.
But that's pretty blatant, obvious that she is LGBTQ+.
Yeah,
and that's a win. But I will say, it's never brought up, it's just in the background. And that's one of the problems I have with Ninjago's queer representation. It's always in the background. There's never been any forefront. We haven't had any queer romances. We've had plenty of straight romances, ranging from okay with its writing to the Ninjago writers don't seem to know how to write romance. At least the older ones don't.
Oh boy, that's true. In that case, I get why they can't be like blunt about it, because like parents will complain and then the show will get canceled. It just sucks that we live in a world like this. But damn, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I was gonna say at least Dragons Rising is doing the most that they can to show that Gio and Cole obviously have feelings for each other. At least Gio does. Like the way that one scene was formatted where it like showed Gio reminiscing about Cole. Like obviously even a dumbass could tell that he has romantic feelings for Cole. And the part where they're holding hands while listening to, what's that skeleton's name? Sorry, I forgot her name. It's been a while since I saw season 2. But anyway, yeah. Anyway.
Anyways, moving on from that. Ninjago doesn't have the best record at bringing any of its representation to the forefront. Now, I'm not saying we don't need it in our face. Look at this, Ninjago's first gay character. I don't need another Disney's first. But it would be nicer to have the characters more open. I don't even think I noticed Sally had the Progress Pride flag until I went online and saw people pointing it out, and it didn't even...
What? I noticed that immediately. It like stuck out to me the second I saw it. I was like, huh? What? And also there was like, I talk about this in my video, but there was a rainbow crosswalk. Wow, great representation, guys. A rainbow crosswalk. Anyway.
It crossed my mind so that the Prime Empire lesbians could be lesbians, because I just assumed everyone...
Oh, was that what they were talking about? Hold on. Wait.
People pointing it out, and it didn't even cross my mind so that the Prime Empire lesbians could be lesbians, because...
Oh, sorry, I think I misunderstood what they were talking about. But yeah, same. It didn't cross my mind at all that the Prime Empire dancers could be lesbians.
I just assumed everyone else in the dance competition, except for Jay and Nia, were just friends. Now, there are a couple other cases of queer representation in Ninjago. In Seabound, if I remember correctly, we can see a sidewalk that is a rainbow, which was...
Let's be real. I'm gonna guess what they're about to say. Let's be real. This sucks. Something like that.
It's said to be for the LGBTQ plus community, but
no,
that's not much.
Yeah, that's what I said too. It's not much. It's like, wow, gee, thanks for the road. Like, oh, that could have been there as like a normal thing and not even just like, oh, a rainbow road. There's a Mario thing called Rainbow Road. That's not gay. Oh yes, we're inclusive. Here's a rainbow crosswalk. Oh, like, shut up. But yeah, this person, they have the same grievances as I do.
Hopefully we can see a sidewalk that is a rainbow, which was said to be for the LGBTQ plus community, but that's not much.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not actual representation. I don't get what the Ninjago team was going for when they included that. But okay.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Then, in the background of Dragons Rising, I actually had to have my brother point this out. In Dragons Rising Season 1, there is a character in the, sea town that they have with the giant crab monster that's attacking and whatnot. One of the background people actually has the non-binary flag on their arm, like a little patch of the non-binary flag.
I never
noticed
really cool.
That. It's just, I didn't notice it.
Wow, something super far in the background. Yeah, let's make sure the homophobic parents don't notice. And let's also make sure that the, LGBT supporters don't notice either. Like, what? I'm surprised anyone noticed that. Like, gee, thanks. Like, gosh.
At all, like I said. And if it wasn't for having it pointed out to me, I would have never noticed. And once again, that adds to the problems with Ninjago's representation. And then, our most recent, so in Dragons Rising Season 2, Lloyd has a vision in which he witnesses a conversation between the Source Dragons. And one of the Source Dragons, who the subtitles labeled as the Source Dragon of Life, the one who says that Lloyd is one of their own, is confirmed to be non-binary, as they have a non-binary voice actor. However, once again, we are yet to meet this character truly, just hear their voice in a vision. Yeah. So I can't exactly judge the representation of them until we get to meet them. If we never get to meet them, then I would say that's also another case of kind of crappy representation, because I don't even think their pronouns were said at all during that conversation.
Nope.
As you can tell, I'm kind of not being most positive with Ninjago at the moment, but I promise I love this show. It is one of my favorite shows. I'm not trying to drag on it. I'm not saying it's homophobic or transphobic. It's very clear that the writers do want to include more, but I don't think...
Yeah, I can see that they're trying to do it, and I get why it's hard. I get, why they can't be super upfront, but it's still just... I'm allowed to have feelings. I can still be bothered that we can't get more. I know it's not their fault, but it's still upsetting.
I think they're handling it in the right way. And before we get to the big thing you're probably all wanting me to talk about, I'm going to quick do a detour on coding. Now, a character being queer-coded doesn't mean they're canonically queer. And even if, let's say this character...
Yep, exactly. I think I said in my description that, a queer character is not the same as queer coding. Like with Cole and that one episode, where he, came out to his dad. Obviously he's not gay, but it's still an allegory, so it's coding. But yeah, that's definitely, it's not the same as a character actually being queer. But yeah.
Character is coded in a queer way, they can still be canonically straight, so don't come for me saying they're not canon that way. This is just coding that I've picked up on and have thought about and maybe even related to a bit, and I am going for more of the popular coding that has been brought up by the fandom multiple times. And first off, I'd like to talk about probably the most obvious one, and that being Sora. Sora is extremely trans.
Yep, yeah. I was wanting to make a part 2 about Dragons Rising, but I wanted to wait for, it to be confirmed that the series is finished, because that's what I did with Ninjago. I waited until the whole series was finished to actually do a deep dive about the LGBT stuff about it. But yeah, Sora, her outfit is literally white, blue, and pink, and her whole shtick is about her changing her name and changing her identity, and her parents being upset with that and still dead naming her. She is so transcoded. Obviously in canon she's not trans because she was a girl from the start and afterward, but yeah, she's transcoded, which is what this person is probably about to say. But yeah,
transcoded. First off, there's the obvious thing of a character who does not go by the name they were assigned at birth, not the name that they were given by their parents.
Yeah.
Sora now has that as sort of like her dead name, and it's actually shown in a negative light to call her by that name. Now, I'm not saying Sora is canonically trans, and I'm also not trans myself.
Yeah.
I'm very much not cis, but I don't fall under trans either. I'm in that weird kind of nebulous. I'm agender, by the way. But even though I don't fall under the trans category, I do feel some connection with Sora's story, not being cis myself, and I've heard plenty of trans people bring up their connection to Sora's story. Once again, I don't feel like I am qualified to actually talk about her trans coding, not being trans myself, so I will leave that up to any trans people who want to make their own videos about Sora's coding. Next, we have Jay. Jay, I guess this isn't as big of coding as, say, Sora, but I feel like Jay is coded as bisexual. I'm also not bisexual, so bisexuals, please.
Yep. Yeah, before my old channel was terminated, I made a video called Jaywalker being bisexual. It was like Jaywalker being bisexual for blank minutes, but of course my channel got terminated, but luckily a buddy of mine re-uploaded it on their channel. I'll link it in the description. But yeah, the just him being all swooned by like Kai's fake proposal was so, I was like, fruit ninja. But yeah.
Correct me and add on all you want, but I feel like Jay's or any attracted to multiple genders, I'm not saying explicitly bi, but that's the one I feel like fits him the best. But he's obviously in a relationship with Nia. Him and Nia have been together since season 1. It's been a bit rocky, but they're together, pseudo Ninjago version married, but he does also have very close relationships with men, and there's also him calling Nautocon's voice beguiling, and calling him a sulky voice seducer, and being very charmed by his voice.
He's freaking me out!
Guy baby.
And they're also...
I have a feeling this person has seen my video. Because I think I was the first person to point out the beguiling thing. Or was I the first person? I know I definitely wasn't the first to point out the silky voice seducer line, but I'm pretty sure I was one of the first to point out the beguiling. Because beguiling means charming or seductive, I think. I'll put the definition right here. But the fact that they used that word and they had him also say silky voiced seducer, like, he's clearly attracted to men to some form. Like, oh my gosh. That season, Skybound was wild.
Several other moments people have pointed out to be queer coded with Jay, and once again, I'm not.
Sorry, what did they say?
And there are also several other moments people have pointed out to be queer coded with Jay. And once again, I'm not bi, I'm aro ace actually, so I'm like the opposite. So once again, go ask some bisexuals about this, not me. And then another person who has been brought into the light is also being transcoded would be Bonzel. Now,
Bonzel! Yes, that's her name. Yeah, like the freaking... Someone made a Tumblr post where it was like, that scene where Bonzel explains her backstory to Cole and Gio is literally like a trans coming out scene. They're like, it's framed like a person coming out as trans to their gay parents. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's true.
Actually seen any like thorough breakdowns about Bonzel's trans coding, but from what I've picked up on, that I personally saw as coding would probably be like her whole story just as a full...
What I'm trying to say is... Bonzel discovering herself through talking to Wu and eventually choosing her own form she believes reflects her inside feels transcoded to me. Yep. Yeah, that makes sense. She becomes a completely different person and rejecting her first form.
Well, her backstory, obviously, with spending so long alone until finding Wu and talking about it as the spell, she took her own unique form that fit her. And also the scene of her being worried that the sorceress, what was her name? Gandalaria? Something like that. Gondolaria? I don't remember her name.
No, Gandalaria.
The sorceress being, nervous that the sorceress wouldn't recognize her or just treat her as a spell rather than a person, which, once again, I'm not cis, but I'm not trans either, and I myself sometimes have those thoughts. I'm like, oh, I'm going to talk with this person I haven't seen since I started going by my new name. How am I going to explain this? How am I going to come out? That's definitely a struggle I've had, and I have seen that reflected in Bonzel. Now that the
coding section is over, and once again, I would, if you want a more in-depth analysis about each of these characters' coding and other characters' coding, I'd say go bring that up with people of those identities. Anyways, on to our final section that you all were probably waiting for, Cole and Geo. Now, another case of Cody and Cole. The entire series, Cole has been the only ninja to not have a romantic love interest of a
I think that he is on the Aero Ace spectrum, but he's still more so, like, he's like demi-homo? Yeah, like, he's more attracted to men, but he's still more of like a, on the Aero Ace spectrum, he's a gay Aero Ace, where he is attracted to men, but it just takes him a lot longer to, like, fall in love with a man. That's what I think, at least.
different gender. Some people are going to comment that he had the whole thing with Nia, but it's been confirmed that he was only flattered by Nia liking him.
He was just confused at the attraction. Like, that, and that's, like, the fact that Tommy said the words confused because of the attention she showed him, that's like, okay, you're definitely going for something here. Because I don't think he intended for Cole to be gay in the earlier seasons, but once, like, the Wild Brain era started kicking in, I think they definitely were, like, looking at all the headcanons, and they started to be like, this could actually work. He doesn't have a love interest. And the fact that the writer for frickin' Cole's season, Master of the Mountain, literally confirmed that Vanya and Cole were just friends. They were like, nope, they have nothing going on. There's no romantic thing between them. I wrote them as only friends. And I was like the fact that they drove that home, I'm like, okay, you guys are going for something here. It's like you're showing a girl to prove that he is not interested in them. He was in the closet back then, and yeah, now he's out with Gio.
Rather than actually reciprocating any feelings, and him and Vanya aren't canon either. It is a-okay to ship them. You can like the ship all you want,
yeah, exactly.
But the writers have flat out said that in canon they are platonic and were written to be platonic, so don't come after me saying it's canon. And there was also episode 9. Jeez. I almost want to say 8. Episode 9 of season 1, The Royal Blacksmiths, in which Cole has to effectively come out to his dad as a ninja. And this is even brought up in the dialogue of the show. If you go to the episode, just replace every time you hear the word ninja with gay.
He doesn't know you're
gay.
I told you, my dad can't find out I'm
gay.
He does feel like kid who hasn't come out yet. Like, if you've never had to, like, deal with having to hide being queer from parents, it's always, when all your queer friends come over, it's always, guys, okay, we can't talk about this, or this, or this, and don't mention this, and I use this name at home, so you gotta use that, and you gotta use these pronouns, and it's a whole hassle.
Yeah.
And I would say that it does continue throughout the seasons. Like, there are moments that I feel like are queer-coded for Cole. That might be me just reading too much into it. And now we come to Dragons Rising, and we are introduced to Gio, who him and Cole have, in these unknown amount of years between Crystallized and Dragons Rising, formed a close bond, have essentially adopted these two kids together, plus Bonzel's kind of like...
Gio and Cole both have a very, like, queer-coded upbringing. Because Gio, he wasn't accepted by either side of his family. Although, I guess that's not really, like, queer-coding, but that seems more of, like, a mix. Yeah, no, Gio's story is more of, like, a mixed race coding. Because, yeah, I've seen stuff like that where, like, if someone's mixed race, then they're not really accepted by either group. Which is tough. But him being kicked out could also be, like, a queer thing. Like, a queer-coded thing. Like, oh, you're different. Ugh, get out of here. And then Cole obviously not being able to come out to his dad is queer-coding too. So I think that's how they found each other and bonded so quickly.
A teenager. I'd say Bonzel feels like a teenager to me. These two kids and their, like, teenage daughter, and they're very close. They care a lot about each other. They want the other to succeed and feel comfortable, and they hold hands, and the thing makes little hearts, and Gio looks at a picture of Cole lovingly and thinks about Cole.
In a loving way.
Cishet, if this was Kai and Skylar, no one would bat an eye.
Oh,
because this is...
yeah. No one would say anything if it was straight. But, oh, Cole, he's alive but gay. Shut up. Like, it's such... Who cares? Like, y'all overreact about the dumbest things. But, yeah, like, if it was straight, no one would bat an eye.
Gio and Cole, this has brought up a lot of controversy. A lot of people have been complaining about how they've suddenly made Cole gay, or that Ninjago's becoming terrible because of it. But
Oh my
if
gosh.
they do make Cole and Gio a canon couple, I feel like that will be a step forward in Ninjago's writing in the representation department. Because
Yeah.
so far, as I've shown, a lot of the representation has not been the best. It's not bad, it's just
Oh yes, a rainbow crossroad, thanks.
a blink and you miss it, which at
Yeah,
the stage we're at, we
blink
have
and you miss
like,
it.
the Owl House, where we have the main character can say I'm bi to her mother, and she can date a girl, or like Paranormal Park, the main character can say he's trans, and
Paranormal Park mention, yes! I love Paranormal Park. Paranormal Park. I really wish it had a third season. It had so much potential! Netflix, stop canceling good shows. My goodness.
Ninjago, we have the non-binary dragon we haven't met, and the Prime Empire lesbians, and Sally. And that's
Yep.
all I wanted to talk about. That
Bunch of
is
background
my
stuff.
feelings on Ninjago's representation, and I hope that they continue to improve and be more inclusive with their queer rep and characters as the show moves forward. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.
Yep, so that was my reaction. And my response? No, I'm not. No, this is not a response video. If I word this as a response video, people are gonna think that's drama, and nope. Honestly, I can't imagine someone like making some video about me, like why Bunalina was wrong, and people being like, "Hey, aren't you gonna respond?" Sorry, that was way off topic, but anyway. Yeah, that was my reaction. They said about the same things that I said and would have said. Yeah, honestly, if there are, I should just leave it to them, because I'm lazy. Because, I wanted to make a part 2 when all of Dragon's Rising came out, but I should just leave it to them. They got it in the bag. Their video formatting is way better than mine. And, sorry, I shouldn't be comparing, but anyway. Yeah, I fully agree with their points, and they had this, the same reaction to the crosswalk. And, yeah. Toodaloodles.